everyone. This is John Butero back with a new video. Yes, I know it's been a while, but I have been having a lot of things going on, been very busy, and I really felt the need to make a video today because I've been observing a lot of things that have been going on since the election, since Donald Trump basically destroyed Kamala Harris in the not only the electoral college vote but also in the popular vote. It was a decisive win, and not only did President Trump win, but also the Republicans won control of the House and of the Senate, giving them the ability to pretty much pass anything that they want to. So the main thing I'm saying here is there's a mandate. The Republicans have a mandate, and they can pretty much do whatever they want. It doesn't even matter if Democrats want to claim there is no mandate because they'll say that Trump got just barely under 50% of the vote. Doesn't make any difference. He won the electoral college vote, which is really all that matters. And he also won the popular vote. Doesn't make any difference whether or not it was 49.9% or by 50%. Fact of the matter is, he still won, and Republicans control everything. But I want to talk to you about some strategies the Democrats are using to try to do anything they can to stop President Trump. They know that they have no power. They know there's nothing that they can really do. So they're trying to use a tool that they've been using as long as I can remember. They're masters at it, and that's propaganda. You know how that the Bible says that the devil is a liar and the father of a lie, and the truth is not in him. You could in many ways substitute the thief or Satan and substitute the word Democrats, and you'd be pretty much in the same boat. They're liars. They are masters at it, and the truth is not in them. So if they're talking, if they're writing or whatever, for the most part, whatever the Democrats are saying are lies. That's just the way it is. And when they're going around talking about and lamenting how that Republicans supposedly now control portions of the media, and we do have more than we did, but we're still the minority there. They're upset because they don't have control of everything anymore. But when they do that, and they're accusing Republicans of using propaganda, it's really them that's been using propaganda. It's like they are attacking the very thing they've been doing for decades. They're just upset because they've lost control. But I want to talk to you about some tactics they're using. They're a powerless group. They can do nothing unless we give them power. And so I want to tell you about some things I've noticed that they've been doing. Number one thing that they've been doing is they've been talking about this so-called Trump cult. They've been saying that the people that support Trump are cultists, and they're just following him like he's a cult leader. Now, obviously, we know that isn't true. I'm not saying that there couldn't be some people that loved Trump as in his program, The Apprentice and stuff like that, and that maybe his celebrity status helps them with some, but we understand that this is absolute nonsense. But we don't. What I want to talk to you about is that it should not matter anyway. The reason they're doing this, now it sounds like they're just, using insults. They're just hurling insults by using the label cult. No, they're not doing that. That's not exactly what's going on. It is trying to be insulting. Nobody really wants to be associated as part of a cult. However, it's a strategy when the Democrats call us a cult and say that Trump is our cult leader. What they're trying to do is get us to feel the need to prove that this is not true. I don't feel the need to prove it's not true. I don't feel the need to prove anything to the Democrats. So, and that's the attitude we all should have. If we genuinely have a problem with something that President Trump is doing, then by all means stand against it within your own self. But there is no reason to try to manufacture areas of differences when they don't exist. So if I were to agree with President Trump on every single issue, and I don't, but I do on more than I don't. But if I did agree with him on every single issue, I feel no need to try to manufacture a difference just to prove I'm not part of a cult and that I'm a free thinker. Um, And if the differences are over minor things, I'm probably just going to forget about them and let them go. And another thing, too, even if I've got a difference of opinion with President Trump, I am not going to go out here and openly do protests and do anything to help the Democrats. That's exactly what they're trying to do. I will privately write to my members of the House and the Senate if it's something really big. If it's something small, right now, I feel like it's better to do everything we can to support President Trump and give him a chance to do what he needs to do. So, unless it's something really serious, my feeling is I'm not going to do anything to oppose President Trump. If it is something really serious, I will just quietly write to President Trump or to J.D. Vance or to members of the House of the Senate that are my representatives and just share my concerns. But I am not going to go around helping the Democrats to attack President Trump. That's what they want us to do. And if I'm looked at as a cult leader, or not a cult leader, but a cultist for following Trump like he's a cult leader, so be it. Don't care. And that's the attitude that we need to have right now in order to help President Trump make America great again. Another thing I've been seeing is attacks on President Trump's nominees for his cabinet. Now, I think that almost any of us could probably say, no matter who the president is or what cabinet they picked, that there might be some minor differences that we would have as to who we would pick as opposed to who they would pick. But it's important that the president have a cabinet that he can work with, people that he trusts, people that he can work with. President Trump has put forth a list of people that he wants in his cabinet. And from what I have seen, I don't know of anybody in that list that would be a problem. As far as I'm concerned, even if I don't agree 100% with everything everyone might do or stand for, it looks like a good group to choose for his cabinet. And I've heard some Democrats trying to say that if Republicans just go ahead and confirm them all, then they're not doing their job, a constitutional job of advise and consent. That's absolute nonsense. Advise and consent doesn't say you have to disagree with anything. The advice and consent could be that we advise that everybody that is on Trump's list is good, and we consent to approving every last one of them. Right now, I can tell you that if I was in the Senate, based on what I've seen thus far, I would support every single one that President Trump has put forth, and I wouldn't believe anything that the Democrats are saying in attacking any of his nominees. Especially one of the most ludicrous things that I've seen is the ridiculous attacks on Tulsi Gabbard. Now, there's probably a lot of reasons why the Democrats don't like Tulsi Gabbard. One reason is because she used to be a Democrat, and now she is been chosen to be part of President Trump's cabinet. And so they've got a lot of reasons they don't like Tulsi Gabbard. But to go around claiming she's a Russian asset and nonsense like that, remember, it wasn't that long ago when they were going around with that Russia collusion stuff to try to explain how Trump won in 2016. They are liars. You can't believe anything that the Democrats are saying. So, and I find the attacks on Tulsi Gabbard to be absolutely ridiculous. She's a very patriotic American, and I think that she should be easy to confirm in a sane world. But I'd say that about everybody that I've seen on, Trump's cabinet picks. Every last one of them should be approved, in my opinion. And Republicans have nothing to apologize for, and they are doing their constitutional duty if they just approve all of them on a straight party line vote if it came down to it. I think there'll probably be a few Democrat approvals on some of the picks, but I think there'll probably be a lot of party line votes, and Republicans shouldn't feel bad about it. Go right down the line, 53-47 if you have to every single time, but Republicans should just approve everybody that is on that list. I also want to talk to you about something else I've seen the Democrats talking about, or some Democrats. I saw one in particular lamenting the fact that the Democrats did not get rid of the filibuster when they were in control. Well, this is what I say to that. You didn't. You lost. And there are reasons why you didn't get rid of the filibuster besides the fact that they just chose not to. There was opposition within the Democratic Party about getting rid of the filibuster. And so it remains. They didn't have the votes to get rid of it. So that's the real truth of the matter. But in a lot of ways, I almost think the Republicans should consider getting rid of the filibuster. We are living in a very difficult time right now. The Democrats are going to do everything they can to try to prevent President Trump from getting anything through. And the only thing they've got right now to use is the filibuster. They're outnumbered in the Senate, 53-47. The Republicans control a House. If we choose as Republicans to do away with the filibuster, the Republicans over the next 2 years can pass anything that they want, and President Trump can sign it into law. And I feel like we are in times where that's necessary. So I would fully support Republicans doing away with the filibuster and just passing through all that they can over the next 2 years. There's been talk by some Democrats complaining they didn't stack the Supreme Court. Well, that's really not a good idea, really, for either side, and I'll tell you why. This Democrat was complaining that he thought that they should have just stacked the court and run it up to 17 members. Well, as soon as a Republican's in there, then what's to stop them from running it up to 35 members or higher? That's what's going to happen, and eventually you're going to have a Supreme Court with more members than the Senate and the House. There are going to be more judges on the Supreme Court than that. Every time a new president comes in on the other party, they'll stack it higher and higher and higher. That's what's going to happen. So it's really a dumb idea. But there is nothing to stop Republicans from increasing the number of judges on the Supreme Court if they wanted to do it. What's to stop them from running it up to 17 or 21? You know, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I really think it's a stupid idea for either side, and I can see the problems that will come from doing it. But and really, the Republicans don't need to do it because they already have the majority on the Supreme Court. But I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. And I would encourage it. As a matter of fact, if the Democrats do ever get back into power and do that, the next time the Republicans in power, I would just say double the court again. And we'll just have complete instability there. But that's what would happen. So it's really a dumb idea. But it is something that was discussed. But I do think that Republicans should get rid of the filibuster in the Senate and just pass through everything they can over the next 2 years. I also feel like President Trump should use the power of executive orders to get anything else he wants through over the next 2 years. Democrats are going to do everything they can to take back control of the House and the Senate. They may not succeed in 2 years, but we need to get through everything we can over the first 2 years. And that way, even if they do take things back to some degree in 2 years, President Trump will still be there to veto anything that they pass he doesn't agree with, and we will have already gotten what we wanted through in the first 2 years. So I feel like desperate times call for desperate measures, and I fully support Republicans doing everything and anything they can to get whatever they need to get done right now. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is the idea of the January 6th prisoners. Most of them are political prisoners. Most of them never got due process. And so my feeling is that I support a full pardon for almost everybody that was involved in what took place January the 6th, 2021 at the Capitol. There are some that actually did some acts of vandalism and things that were beyond peaceful protests. They broke the law. They're in jail. I don't necessarily support a full pardon for them, but I do think they've been punished enough, and I think every single last one of them should at least have their sentences commuted. Now, is this a major thing to drive a wedge between me and President Trump or other Republicans? Should it? No. I do believe we should encourage him to go ahead and make sure that none of those people are in prison even one day after he takes office. But if he wants to pardon some and commute the sentence of others, I'm fine with that. If there were some that actually did acts of vandalism that were so egregious that President Trump, in his wisdom, feels like he should not do anything just yet, I'm fine with that. And this should not be a wedge issue. But we should stand up for the patriots that were trying to save our country on January the 6th. And we should support having their sentences uh, commuted or pardoned, depending on how much over the line they went. So, as far as the Democrats go, though, the main thing is give them nothing. Don't give them any wins. Don't give them anything they can point to as they succeeded in anything. Give them nothing. Just completely ignore anything they're saying. You're going to have a spine, and you're going to have to be able to be willing to stand back and have them insult you and call you a follower of a cultist or things like that. You're going to have to be strong, and you're going to have to stand up against them, and you're going to have to be willing to suffer the verbal persecution. But when it's all said and done, just remember this: we won, they lost. They have no power. The only power they got is through their tongue. So my advice to everybody that's a Trump supporter, 77 million of us we know came out and voted for President Trump. If you're a Trump supporter, uh, do not let them bother you with label of cult or anything else. Embrace it even. So what? We won and they lost. And that's the attitude that we need to have. Oh, they'll attack me for saying that, but I don't care. And you shouldn't either. Just remember, if you voted for Trump, you're on the winning side. Those that voted for Harris are on the losing side. And they spent a lot of money, over $1 billion, running ads against President Trump and getting all these celebrity endorsements. Some of them even paid for. They did all of that to win, and they still lost, and we still beat them. You should embrace that, and you should be very happy about that and celebrating. And when they're going around, talking about all these bad gloom and doom things that are going to happen, don't listen to these people. Um, Over the next year, you just need to sit back and expect that 2025 might be a difficult year. President Trump and Republicans are going to have to undo a lot of damage done by the Biden Harris administration. Don't get impatient. Expect some prices may still go up. There may be some initial things that may happen as a result of prices due to tariffs and things like that over the first year. There might be a little bit of even chaos over the first year. But I predict if you will just be patient and support President Trump, you will see things start turning around for the good in 2026. That's my feeling about what's going to happen. I'm prepared. I was when I voted for President Trump. I was prepared for difficulty in 2025. If Biden and Harris won in 2025, we've already seen what's been going on. We've seen the massive inflation. We've seen all the problems that we've got going on in America right now with high fuel prices and high insurance prices. We've seen all that. Even if they go up over the next year, what's different than what's happened over the last 4 years? And under Biden and Harris, we would have just kept having more and more and more of the same thing over the next 4 years. I predict that things may be difficult in 2025, and they would have been no matter who won. But I'm saying I believe you will start to see a turnaround in 2026 if we support President Trump, and if the Republicans support him, and if he has a fair chance to get done the things that he wants to get done. And I feel like that if that happens, then in 2026, it will turn out to be a good year, a good mid-year for Republicans. But we have to ignore the Democrats right now. And we need to just pass everything through that we can. That's what needs to be done. Well, that's all I wanted to say on today's video. Thank you for joining me. If you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And I hope you'll be back with me again soon. I'll try to get another video out before too long. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week.